Good evening. It has been a very busy weekend for firefighters in the capital region. Several brush fires flaring up in the West Shore and Souk. As Czech News reporter Lee Czekstad tells us, fire crews are preparing for the dry conditions to continue, since the fire danger here is now the highest in the entire province.
So it was going this way and that way. And just started getting into the trees there.
The fire line at Harborview Park in Souk goes right to the forest's edge. Fire Chief Stephen Sorensen says the person who called in the fire Thursday night prevented a much bigger one.
And just the fact that somebody noticed this 15 minutes before it was dark was in itself quite something.
3 more minutes and this damage could have been a lot worse. In Langford, crews responded to 3 grass fires Saturday morning alone, then had to head back out to one that reignited later in the day. That's why forest fire signs in the area read extreme.
It is so dry, you get a little bit of wind, and it's not going to take long for these fires to take off.
In Souk, campfires are banned. In Langford, residents have to report any campfires daily. But it's a sacrifice people are willing to make.
It seems pretty normal when you come out here for Victoria for the summer.
Well, it's not quite the same without the fire.
The normally lush and green Souk is now dotted with brown patches, and what could now be considered kindling has one other feature fire officials say is making this year shape up to be potentially dangerous.
It's the incessant wind that we've had this year. It just never seems to go away, and it's just sucked all the moisture right out of everything. And now with the heat on top of it, it's just getting worse and worse.
And any relief will just be temporary.
It is actually going to be a little bit better for us in the fact that it's going to get a little bit wet, but it's not going to stay wet. And it's only going to get, I think 1 to 3 millimeters of rain. And so the concern is that people are going to think, oh, well, it's been a little bit damp. I can have a nice big fire and maybe not take the same level of precautions.
They add September is typically the worst month for forest fires, so while the season got off to a late start, it's only just beginning.